So the first question that I'd like to ask you in these troubled times is the industry has taken a huge hit in the second wave of COVID. Now, with the restrictions coming in, how are you planning your recovery now after the second wave? COVID has been around for more than a year. How are you planning your recovery?
So if you see, after the first wave, once things opened up, we saw a very strong bounce back. And a lot of this demand might get, in my opinion, deferred, but not lost. So we have seen in the second wave, we've seen April and May close. But now, since the first week of June, as things are opening up, we are, from day one of opening up, actually seeing customers walk into the stores, which is a very encouraging sign. And I am seeing that whether it is real estate or whether it is fabrics and apparel, sales have started, albeit slow, but even in real estate, we sold one apartment on the opening day. So people have deferred their decision purchase, but somebody who needs a home needs a home. And he is going to come and buy.
Sir, and just today, the RBI has reduced the Q1 FY22 GDP forecast to 18.5%, from the earlier estimate of 26.2%, and also revised the real GDP projected at 9.5% for FY22 versus 10.5% earlier. Your comments on this, sir, specifically?
I mean, it's expected and in line. Obviously, if the first 2 months of the year are virtually shut, the GDP is bound to come down. I would say it might even come down a little more, but that's my layman guess.
All right, sir. And you're saying that even with all of this, you are hoping for deferred demand. But sir, what is your biggest priority for the company in terms of the blow dealt, in terms of, the businesses, blow dealt to your businesses during the time of COVID? What is the biggest priority at this point for your company?
Yeah, I think survival is the biggest key for any company. And we have to relook at the business. We have to do a cost reset and relook at how we do the same business in a different way. You have to continuously reinvent yourself. You have to look at your costs. You have to look at your structure. You have to look at everything and deal with it.
In fact, many
you have to come out really.
In fact, many say, the time of a crisis is the best time to innovate and change. So are you also looking to innovate and change at this point?
Well, the only thing constant in life is change. And if you don't change with the times, you're going to be left by the wayside.
So now one question that, that comes to mind at this time is that like other corporates, is the Raymond Group also going to vaccinate all its employees? Because a lot of corporates have taken on that responsibility of vaccinating employees and thereby helping in the vaccination drive across the country. Is the Raymond Group also?
I think for sure. In fact, today we are doing a small drive for a small lot of people. Today we are doing 200 people. And as we are getting the vaccine, we are doing it. We also want to vaccinate the whole retail front end, so customers feel much more comfortable coming into the shops. So yes, it is a priority for us to get it done.
That's another much feared third wave is also there. A third wave is coming, is what everyone predicts. What do you think administrators should look at to prevent industry from suffering like this, if at all a third wave comes?
I think the two most important things. The most important thing is vaccinate, vaccinate, vaccinate. The faster you vaccinate the country, the better you are. So there is no substitute for vaccination. Number two, if you actually look at the core of the lockdown is when there is pressure on the medical health system. And therefore, keep your medical health system ready. Whether it is oxygen, whether it is COVID centers, whether it is facilities and infrastructure. Because COVID is here to stay for a while. And we're going to learn to deal with it. So one, the more you vaccinate, the less people will need medical facilities, because vaccination doesn't mean you won't get COVID. It's just that it will be much milder.
Right. So
you're going to deal with that. If you have the medical infrastructure, we can then move on with life.
Right, sir. And this question, is the fact that in a city like Mumbai, We've seen sort of how COVID has affected the city, but like you were saying, real estate and even retail. Uh, how long do you see this post-pandemic boom, as they're calling it, of pent-up demand leading to recovery? How long do you see that process taking place? How long do you see for that recovery? How long will it take for that recovery to happen?
Very difficult to say because some markets are opening up, closing down, opening up. But, like we say, we're cautiously optimistic.
All right, sir. And if I could just push you for a time frame, if it's 1 year, 2 years.
I would say, listen, I would expect the recovery to start in a good way post-monsoon, because monsoon is always a lean season for everything. Whether you just take sales on the retail counter or whether you take its tourism and aviation or whatever, monsoon is the leanest period. So hopefully, if we use the monsoon to vaccinate everybody and get it out of the way as fast as we can, and hopefully starting September, when our seasons really open, the winter, India, etc., I hope we have a good season.
All right, sir. Thank you so much, and thank you for giving us your time at this difficult time.
Thank you very much. Thanks for having me. Thank you.